Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Now let's get into this right here. This is a topic. Funny enough, this is a video I've been wanting to get to for some days now, but there have been so many other things happening. We've been doing lives all over the place, so I didn't have a chance to really get into it. Now, as you guys know, the Lakers played last night, and they were able to get a win against the Portland Trail Blazers. A pretty convincing win. Going into that game, I think all of us expected the Lakers to win that game. I was surprised to see that LeBron did not play the game, to be honest with you, because he said his goal was to play 82 games this season, so he didn't play that game. But nevertheless, the Lakers were able to be victorious in that game. And now as we currently look at the standings, they went from, I believe, the 10th seed back up to the 8th seed with a 13-11 record, but they're tied with two other teams in the Minnesota Timberwolves, who dropped a game to the Golden State Warriors last night, a very entertaining game. And of course, the Phoenix Suns, they're all tied for losses. So you have that. But it's important to say that the Lakers are going to be playing some real competition pretty soon. They have the Minnesota Timberwolves coming up next, the team that beat them by 29 about a week or so ago. And then after that, they have the Memphis Grizzlies, John Morant. You know, those guys are going to be ready and fired up to play against the Lakers. So I was actually just doing some research just the other day, and I came across a clip, and it was from First Things First, and it was featuring my man Chris Broussard. Now, we actually haven't produced any content on Chris Broussard in quite some time, and I didn't know what Chris thought about what was unfolding there in La La Land with the Lakers and JJ Redick. So I clicked on this video here to hear some of what Chris Broussard had to say. And Chris was essentially saying that, you know, he thinks JJ Redick is a good dude, but then he started making fun of him and basically saying, you know, JJ wishing he stayed on TV? Is he wishing that he was still a podcaster? And then he took it a step forward. Further, he was like, you know, JJ better win. JJ better win because JJ Redick is arrogant. And he's like, if you're going to be arrogant, you better have the results to back it up. That's what Chris Broussard said. And as he was saying that, Nick Wright was even agreeing with him. Yes, Nick Wright, who's also, I think, represented by Clutch, was saying, no, if you're going to be this arrogant, you better be able to deliver. So what we want to do now is we want to play what Chris had to say about JJ Redick, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to that there.
JJ Redick, we talked briefly about it. Look, how many of y'all think JJ might be thinking, if I had just stayed in that broadcasting and podcasting business, you know, it's just a lot less pressure on you when you're doing that than coaching. It's already gotten ugly in LA. And he's not on the hot seat, obviously, he's just started. But the heat is already on. The Lakers have lost 6 of their last 8 by an average of 20, almost 22 points. And I get it, a lot of it's on the players. I could have Anthony Davis on here, but I think he's playing hurt. But here's why I'm putting JJ on the Bud list. The players are giving no effort. We just saw it was that Weird and Wonderful? Yeah. With the highlights. I mean, the effort is horrible. Last night, Miami, which is the 24th best rebounding team, or 6th worst rebounding team in the NBA, out-rebounded the Lakers by 16. That's just a lack of effort. I'm sorry. And we see it in these highlights. So that is on the coach. The execution is poor. Some of that's on the coaching. And then I'll throw this in. The Lakers are 12-10. A year ago, under Darvin Ham, who was, you know, the beleaguered Darvin Ham, who was eventually fired and everybody was ripping, they were 13-9. Last year, they were 16th in defense during the season, for the whole season. Now they're 27th in defense. Last year, they won the in-season tournament for whatever that's worth. This year, they didn't even get out of group play. So I'm just saying, and here's the final thing. And I like JJ. I liked him when he was a player, good to talk to and all that, but he's arrogant.
You don't say.
And he's not just arrogant, he exudes arrogance, all right? He did it in college, as a player, as a broadcaster, now as a coach. That's fine. That's fine. But when you have that, when you're like that, you better win.
Sure.
That's the thing. When you're arrogant, you got to win. I said about Deion. Deion's not as, Deion's real charismatic and stuff. But when you come out and you make challenges like that to the media, you better deliver. So JJ, I do believe in you as a coach. I'm not so much the team that much, but I do believe in you as a coach.
So you heard what Chris Broussard had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, a lot of people are rooting against JJ. And I think a lot of them are rooting against him for the very thing that Chris Broussard said. JJ Redick is arrogant. He is. He has said things that has pissed off a lot of NBA fans. A lot of NBA fans have still not gotten over the fact that he was talking crazy about Larry Bird or Bob Cousy, or talking crazy about errors in the past. JJ Redick has been called out by so many Pantheon NBA players, it's not even funny. Jerry West, Bob Cousy, Dominique Wilkins, these are all top 75 guys that have called him out and said that this guy doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. These are people in his own field. In his own field that was saying this about him. So you have a faction of NBA fans that don't like JJ for that. Number two, a lot of people also don't like JJ for this know-it-all attitude. The guy goes up there in his introductory press conference, being introduced as the next head coach of the Lakers, one of the most recognizable brands in the world. The guy sits up there and starts swearing. I mean, think about that. He sits up there and starts swearing. He's like, he has this air about him like, I'm supposed to be here. I deserve to be in all of this. So JJ doesn't have a lot of fans out there. And then when we start looking at the results that he's been able to extrapolate from the team, you realize this guy isn't really that good. I mean, he really isn't. They just beat the Portland Trailblazers last night. Portland came into that game with what, 3 wins, if I'm not mistaken? 7 wins. They have 8 wins. 8 wins. They're 8 games below 500. 8 games below. 8 games below. They're the number 13 seed in the Western Conference. So they're not a serious team. So no one is going to sit up here and clap for him for beating the Portland Trailblazers. No one is going to do it. But the way that JJ was being marketed as the next Pat Riley and all of this, and as an oracle and all of this, and as a seer, he hasn't lived up to it. And Chris Broussard is saying, if you're going to talk all that trash and be that brazen and be that rude and storm out of press interviews and all of that, you better have the results to back it up. And JJ is beginning to realize you can't talk your way into being a great coach. You actually have to go out there and produce the results. I think Chris Broussard was 100% on the money. As you guys know, Stephon Marbury can be quite the controversial figure, and he's never one to bite his tongue and hold his opinion to himself, especially when it comes to basketball conversation pertaining to who's the GOAT and all of that. Now, if you guys remember this Summer Olympics in Paris, there was a moment at the end of the game when they won. I forgot the team that they beat. France. Was it France? Yeah, but was it France? I think it was France, right? I think it was France at the finals game. Anyway, so it was at the end of the game. So LeBron goes over to the sideline, and some of the other players go over to the sideline, front row. They're greeting some of the players. And then Stephon Marbury, I think, tries to shake LeBron's hand or something like that. And LeBron James ignores him, right? And I think LeBron ignored him for some things that Stephon Marbury has said in the past. So Stephon Marbury had kind of like, he had it out for LeBron. LeBron is not on his faves list. So I came across a channel by the name of Whistle, and it's a pretty big channel. They have 3 million subscribers, and it had this interview where it had the headline saying, Stephon Marbury sets the record straight with LeBron James, right? And during this interview, he's talking about New York basketball players. He's talking about advice for Karl Anthony Towns, the Olympics, Bronny in the NBA, his return to MSG, growing up as a kid in New York, all of that different stuff. And then it got to the point when Steph started to weigh in on his issues with LeBron, and then he started talking about the whole GOAT debate of Michael Jordan, all of that. And in typical Stephon Marbury fashion, he kept it 100 about this entire thing. So what we want to do is we want to play what Stephon Marbury had to say about LeBron and the GOAT debate and all that, and then we're going to come back and continue with the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Yeah. Staying in the Olympics, talking this one that just passed. This is a memorable, if not the most memorable. It was a big one. We almost lost twice.
Nah, we won. No, almost.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I ain't gonna argue with you.
What are your thoughts on like Steve Kerr essentially
benching Tatum, right? I know you spoke about team dynamics.
Everybody can play, but he should have played.
But he should have played.
They didn't want him to play on that team. He didn't fit for that team, and they still won, so it's cool.
MVP talks. I don't know. I feel like they was
Steph
mad at
Curry
you.
should have got the MVP, period.
And this goes back to my story about the media.
They mad at me because they think I'm a LeBron James hater. I'm like, I love LeBron James as a basketball player. They get mad because I don't agree that I don't think he's better than Jordan. I'm like, I played against all three of them. I never seen Jordan or Kobe shoot an air ball at the free throw line. Have you?
Nah.
You?
Don't remember.
I can't bring it up.
All right, well, I mean, I've seen it. I watched it. If you shoot air ball scummies at the free throw line, and then wipe your pants like your hands was wet. Stop. Relax. We from here. We not from there.
Yep. Everybody's gonna talk. But when you that star, conversation is gonna happen. And you a fan, like you said, I'm a fan of the game. You know, I'm gonna talk.
Yeah. It's why they saying it, because of him saying what he said, and they think the beef went on to that. I'm like, nah. I'm like, he said what he said about, and why I say what I want to say about him when I want to say it is because he violated, and he in violation until forever, probably.
Like you said it earlier.
It is what it is. Whenever we decide, you have a fight with somebody, you don't decide you start the fight with somebody.
That is true.
You don't decide when we fight again. We fight whenever we say, whenever I want to fight.
Unless we agree mutually.
That's it. And we ain't mutually agreeing on So being that we ain't mutually agree on nothing, it is what it is. It's up always.
It's all love at the end of the day.
It's all love. But basketball wise, I think that as a basketball player, he's the most all around basketball player that ever touched the basketball. There's nobody. Magic for me was that. But then when I seen LeBron and what he's done, on the winning side, as far as playing
and longevity,
taking everything. Yeah. But as far as a basketball player, come on, man, it shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath as Michael Jordan. As far as the Olympics goes, you watch the energy shift. The whole planet watched Steph Curry do what he did 2 games in a row. LeBron was standing there front and acting like he wanted the basketball. He didn't really want to shoot no 3. Stop.
So you heard what Stephon Marbury had to say. He brought up the fact that, I've never seen Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan airball free throws and all of that, right? So, look, Stephon Marbury doesn't think that LeBron is the GOAT. I think he also believes that LeBron and Michael Jordan shouldn't be compared at all. And there are a lot of people that feel that. I'm one of those people as well. I don't believe that it's a close comparison or not. I think Steph is looking at it from a few angles. The first angle is obviously through his basketball player lens, just evaluating players. I think from that standpoint, he doesn't believe that he equates to Jordan. I think also from the standpoint of having a direct experience against not just LeBron James, but also Kobe Bryant, also Michael Jordan, I think he believes that after playing against all 3 of these guys, that those guys were just simply better. I think he's speaking from his direct opinion. He's not talking about this accolade or that accolade. He's talking about it from a basketball player standpoint. If you listen to what he had to say, he didn't mention anything about statistics, which is quite powerful. He didn't mention a single word about statistics. He just spoke about how they played as basketball players. He did give LeBron James credit at the end where he said LeBron is the best overall all-around player, right? With his ability to score the ball, rebound the ball, assist the ball, defend. From time to time, he believes that he has like the all-around package, but that doesn't mean that he's the best player, because there are things that Jordan did at a higher level that supersede LeBron's all-around game. For example, Jordan's impact on the defense from a fear factor. That's an equation in the game. Are they afraid of this guy? Do they feel like this guy is going to beat them? Then you look at what Jordan was able to do offensively. Then you couple that with his defensive prowess. You put all of that together with his leadership, and you realize you have a monster. You're going up against a monster, a tyrant on the basketball court that is out here to embarrass us and really just shame us. So I think he's looking at all of that, and he draws the parallels between MJ and Kobe and sees the similarities between the two of them. And I think that's the reason why he has. It's not like as if he's like, oh, Kobe reminds me of MJ, so therefore I'm going to have him again. No, he saw what Kobe was doing as well. But then again, this is just Stephon Marbury's opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions. I tend to agree with his. He brought up the point about LeBron didn't really want to shoot that shot in the Olympics, out there fronting like he wanted the ball and all of that. That's just Steph kind of going like LeBron. He said is always up every time they see each other, like is on site and all of this stuff. So this is one that annoyed me. This is one that truly annoyed me, right? For a bunch of different reasons. Okay. Y'all know that Gilbert Arenas says, and has said, that his favorite player is Kobe Bryant. He said this, not me. He said it. Many occasions. But every time I see him talking about Kobe, he's always arguing in the favor of somebody else over Kobe. I don't understand that behavior. Who has a favorite player and spends all their time arguing for why other people are better than their favorite player? That's what Gilbert Arenas does. To the point where some of us real Kobe fans are like, yo, I think you're a fake Kobe fan. I don't think you're a real Kobe fan. Because real Kobe fans don't go as hard as you're going. And truth be told, if you're a real Kobe fan, you're not really jacking LeBron like that. You're not really rocking with LeBron like that. But that's a conversation for another day. You're a Kobe fan, but you don't have the behavior of a Kobe Bryant fan. Just keeping it a buck. I know Kobe fans. They don't have that same behavior that Gilbert Arenas has. So what happened? There was a segment that took place on Gil's Arena just about a day or two ago. And Gil is the one that actually proposed this conversation. And he said, out of these three players, Jordan, MJ, LeBron, which one of these players had more of a killer will? Or which one of these players was more of a killer? And the moment he threw that question out, all hell broke loose on the panel between himself, Brandon Jennings, and Nick Young. And it got to a point where Brandon Jennings, I don't know if it's the LA in him, came out and he just started going at Gil like, yo, watch. You know how you know how them LA dudes be like, yo, watch out, man. Yo, watch out. You know how they talk, yo, watch out. He was like, he just kept on like going at him for disrespecting Kobe Bryant, and they had this heated debate, and I think Brandon Jennings kept it a buck. So what we want to do now, I want to play this exchange for you. We're only going to play the highlights. It was a pretty long clip, but I want to play the most important parts. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, and I want to come back and really get into the show. Take a listen to what these guys had to say here.
Who is the better killer? Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Put them in order.
Killer?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. There you go.
I would go.
I don't care.
How do you,
Go get it done.
Right?
Go get it done 6
I'll go
times.
Kobe.
Every
And
time I go.
They all still killers at the end of the day.
no,
I go
and
Kobe.
that's the problem
I go Kobe.
with the argument.
No,
right?
it don't matter. Somebody got to win.
When they say this guy is a pit bull and this guy is a cat, but the cat has more kills, total kills at the fastest mark, has more accuracy at killing, but you're calling him like you can't. You got to change how you use stuff.
Don't care about that.
Don't matter. You have, but you not.
Listen, at the end, right. We just want you to get one point. We don't care about that little shit. We don't care about that little.
After you have to change how you use stuff. Because if you're calling me softy, but I'm busting your ass, it says more about you now. If you're saying this guy's a killer and this guy's soft, but this guy has way more kills in a faster time, you can't use those. You gotta describe it a little bit different.
No, I don't. Just get it done. Just get it done. Nobody wants to pity pat around. No, get the Michael Jordan, every time I go, get it done.
But it's
Killer.
not.
But he did get it.
Six times. Killer.
He did get
Kobe
it
got it
done.
5.
Okay, well,
Took you.
he has time.
Three of them came.
Took you alone.
Three
Took
came
you.
as a side.
Well,
Three of his came back. 3 of LeBron's.
I mean, to go play baseball. What talking about? Like,
Huh?
playing golf.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Three of
when
LeBron's
you
came
want to,
like that too.
when you really want to throw it out there, like you guys only use metrics when you want to.
No.
And you only use metrics when it's right for you. You only use metrics when it's right for you.
But the reality is,
That's what you saying.
But reality is,
That's what you saying.
reality
Almost
is,
got there, but
I almost got there. But 3 of my big kills,
Well-
I'm doing this. Hey, shoot him right there. I'm the
That's fine.
sidekick. I'm
That's
not the
fine.
main.
That's fine. But
Who? The
No,
guy who
man.
had 3 championships by the age of 22. He wasn't the main guy.
Oh man.
Like, I mean, we love him, but are we gonna talk real sports?
Are we gonna talk?
He was
real
the sidekick until he got rid of Shaq and did 1-2 for himself. So technically, when you're looking at it, he was a sidekick for 3, 2 as a real main character. Does that not factor in?
D-Wade.
Or are we just gonna say, oh, he got 5?
I got drafted there.
D-Wade.
I got drafted there.
D-Wade. Chris Bosh.
Sidekick.
D-Wade. Chris.
Sidekick. However you want to say it.
Kobe's ahead of Shaq.
No, win.
Where you rate both of them? In best top 5, where would you put Kobe?
Where you?
All right then, so he's a sidekick.
3 of your
then.
rings came from me. It don't matter.
Oh, where do you rate
what I'm
Kobe and
saying is,
Shaq?
However you look at it, dog.
Where-
3
no,
of your,
where do
you
you
got
rate
5. 3.
All right,
That's fine.
3
I
was
can't help
carried.
that.
3 was carried by the.
I got
3 was.
drafted.
Don't matter.
I got drafted there. It does matter. I got drafted there.
We're not. We're not comparing each other. What we're saying is you're using 5 as a blanket. 3 of them you was a sidekick.
I got drafted there.
So don't say you got 5, I got 4. You can't do that.
I had the ball.
You got to put it all into
We had the ball every fourth
Shaq
quarter.
didn't win. Shaq didn't win. He didn't win. He didn't win with Penny. He didn't win. Until Kobe got there. So you can't say he's a sidekick.
With Kobe.
He didn't win before he got Kobe.
Right.
He didn't win until he got Kobe.
Right. He didn't win with Penny.
He didn't win with Penny. Kobe got
Number 1
4
player.
championships in him. So how is he a sidekick?
Yeah, you got 3 sidekick championships.
So if I get 2 without you and you get 1 without me, who's the sidekick?
We're talking about LeBron, right?
We're talking about Shaq.
No, we're
now?
talking about
You
LeBron.
said he's a
I don't give a one after I left. You won 3 with me as being the man. That is the problem. So when you talk about championships, please put it in perspective.
He's not a sidekick.
I have 3 championships as a second option, and I got 2 as a number 1 option. You got 4 as a number 1 option. You got 6 as a number 1 option. The other guy got 11 in 13 years.
He was a number. Wait, hold on. He wasn't a number 1 in Cleveland with Kyrie in him. Because it looked like Kyrie was taking all the big shots.
Taking the big shots at the end of the game, but
that's the same thing Kobe was doing. That's how you, and Shaq, that's how you got your...
Brandon, what set up that big shot
Man.
by Kyrie? What led to that big shot by Kyrie?
I don't know. They only look at
Who scored the 6
they only
points?
look at what they want to look at.
The block was fine, but
the 6 points previous to put Kyrie in that position.
Yeah, they only look at the 1 shot. So Paxson was the number 1 option when he hit the 3. Like, no, dog, stop.
So you're saying Kobe Bryant? So you're saying Kobe Bryant wasn't the number 1 option in the fourth quarter when it came down to it?
He wasn't the number 1 option on the team.
Please.
On the team.
So when it came
the
down,
20-year-old, the 21-year-old, the 22.
To win it in the fourth quarter, they wasn't going to Kobe.
Man, Ray Allen's got 1 too. Ray Allen was the main option on Miami, the second championship.
The nigga came off the bench. Stop, man. What's wrong with y'all, man?
He
was a bench dude.
He hit the 3 though.
I don't give
LeBron
He's a
shot
bench
that
dude.
bullshit.
And I had 19 straight points. You should do something. Hit a shot. Do something. We got you in the game. We're paying you the money. Huh? You big red. Do something. Congratulations. You hit 1 shot this quarter.
So
how y'all trying to change people's legacy because somebody on the team hit a shot? I hope they do. I had 19 straight points. Out of the 22 points in a quarter, I assisted on the rest of them.
That's how his whole life is. He always do everything but the main
You talking about Kobe being a side? Hold on, I seen Jason Terry average the same amount of points as LeBron in the finals.
Yes.
I ain't never seen nobody do that to Kobe.
He lost to Jason Terry.
Jason Terry averaged the same amount of points as LeBron James in the finals.
How do we get here?
Don't do that.
Talk about Jason Tatum.
Talk about who a sidekick.
We're talking about who the sidekick.
Look like LeBron was a sidekick on that in that final.
Who's the sidekick to who?
He was going on D-Wade.
LeBron was a sidekick to Dirk in that final.
So you heard the exchange there. You heard what they had to say. As I was listening to that clip, I was actually getting annoyed listening to Gilbert Arenas. And I don't want it to be like this is something that this show we're doing is, oh, you're talking behind Gilbert Arenas' back. No. Everything I'm about to say to you, he knows what I think because I texted him and we're going back and forth. When I texted him, I'm going to tell you what I said to him. I said, yo, Gil, who's making you say, no. I said, you sound like a fake Kobe Bryant fan. No. The first thing I said was, I said, why weren't you saying any of this when Kobe was alive? That's the first thing I said to him. I said, why weren't you saying, where was all of this when Kobe was alive? That's what I said to him. I said, you seem like a fake Kobe Bryant fan. This is what I told him. I also said, is Clutch or LeBron, I said something of that, are they the ones getting you to say what you're saying? And then we went into the back and forth about his argument. Gilbert Arenas has no argument. The only reason he said that was to basically put down Kobe to elevate LeBron James. That is it. That is it, period. Gil brought up the fact that Kobe was a sidekick for his first 3 years. You even heard them mention the numbers he had across Shaq. You heard the numbers. The first year he played with Shaq in the playoffs, what? Kobe was what? I forgot how old he was. Kobe must have been what? Okay, here they don't have his age. Kobe must have been what, 20 years old or something like that. Kobe was extremely, no. I want to see how much did Kobe average that year in the playoffs. Kobe was what? He must have been 20 years old. 20 or 21 years old. That's the year he averaged 21 points. Then the very next year he averaged 29.4. The very next year he averaged 26.6. But Gil is out here trying to paint this narrative of, Kobe was a sidekick, as if to say Kobe wasn't capable of leading a team to championships, because sidekicks can't do that. But all I know is that when Kobe and Shaq stopped being teammates, Shaq went on to win one more championship and Kobe went on to win 2. So how can a sidekick do that? While playing with just an all-star in Pau Gasol, not a top 75 player, just an all-star. I then also said to him, I said, if you removed Kobe and put LeBron on that team, LeBron would have won a total of 0 MVPs over Shaq. 0. So what is the point of this argument you're trying to make here? If you remove Kobe and put LeBron at the same age playing next to Shaq, he would have won a grand total of 0 finals MVPs. No version of LeBron is winning a championship over a prime Shaq from 2000 to 2002. There's no version that is winning over that dude. None. Absolutely none, especially when you're playing with a Phil Jackson, who is going to go to the guy that's going to give you the high percentage shot every single time in Shaq. That's number one. I also told him that if you had replaced LeBron with Kobe, playing with Shaq, they would not have won 3 championships. They may have won 1. And I said the reason they would not have won 3 championships is because of style of play. LeBron has never been successful with a big man that clogs the paint. He needs space to operate, collapse the defense, kick out the players. And he needs bigs that can stretch the floor. Shaq ain't stretching. The ball is going to go to him and he's going to dominate, which means that LeBron is going to have to do 2 things that he's not very good at. Number 1, playing off the ball. Number 2, being a reliable mid-range shooter and a catch-and-shoot jump shooter. And given the fact that at no point in time in LeBron's career has he ever exhibited that skill set on a consistent basis, how in the would they have won championships? How? How was that supposed to happen? But I want to take it a step further. Gil is making this argument that Kobe was a sidekick, but I know that when LeBron was playing with Dwayne Wade was leading him in the finals, leading him in the playoffs and scoring, and in the finals. So I guess that makes LeBron James a sidekick too then, by your argument, by your logic. He then said, Gil is not serious. Gilbert Arenas is here to troll. And I'm not saying this behind his back, but we got to call. It's not about me. Oh, you're being fake to Gil. Nobody's being fake to Gil for nothing. Me and him argue these things. That's the only thing we talk. We don't know each other. We just talk basketball. That's it. Strictly basketball. And I think he's trolling. He said that Dwayne Wade is a sidekick. That is a troll comment. How can Dwayne Wade be a sidekick when the same Shaq that you said made Kobe into a sidekick is the same Dwayne Wade that won a championship and a finals MVP over Shaq in the finals? Make it make sense, bro. When LeBron got to Miami, Dwayne Wade was a finals MVP. How can you be a finals MVP with the numbers he put up? Excuse me. Being a sidekick. What are you talking about right now? And to go even further, Gil is trying to say, oh, well, Kobe's a sidekick. Look at Shaq's number compared to his. Look at LeBron's numbers compared to Jason Terry or his own teammate in Dwayne Wade. Like, what are we even talking about? Then he tried to say, oh, no, he's on a different team. It don't matter if it's on a different team. We're talking about productivity. But Gil trying to change the argument and run over here and run. Gil likes to use this thing of, I'm an NBA player and I played basketball, so you don't know what you're talking about. The problem is his own contemporaries disagree with him. We've argued about this. I said almost all of your contemporaries usually always agree with your takes. So it has nothing to do with you being a basketball player and me not being one. It just means that your opinion is wrong even when weighed against your own contemporaries. These are your colleagues. LeBron was outscored in the playoffs by Dwayne Wade in 2011 and in the finals. Like, who are we kidding here? Like, who? Look, LeBron James, let me see. Stats, 2011 finals. What was LeBron's stats in 2011? LeBron averaged 17.8 points per game, 7.2 and 6.8 shooting. What finals did Kobe play in with Shaq where he averaged that? So the real sidekick here, Gilbert Arenas, is LeBron James. Is LeBron James. I feel like Gil is just up there to push the LeBron James agenda. That's what he comes off. It seems like him and Clutch, this is what they all about. That's why I was surprised when Rich Paul went on there. He was so docile, so quiet. If it was anybody else, he'd have been up there screaming and hollering. But when Rich Paul came in, he was so quiet. And the thing that gets me is you're saying you're a Kobe guy. So why would you as a Kobe guy have other Kobe fans defending Kobe against you? It means you're not a real Kobe Bryant fan. You're not. You're not. You're not a Kobe fan. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Every time I hear you talking about Kobe, you're always arguing against him. Now the new one is Kobe's a sidekick. I never heard this when Kobe was alive. This is the part that gets me. Gil would never say no shit like this when Kobe was alive. Never. He would never say that. Ever. Never. As a matter of fact, Gilbert Arenas is the first NBA player I've ever heard call Kobe a sidekick. He's the first one. I've never heard no other NBA player say that. And this is not me gossiping Gilbert Arenas. I told him this. And we went back in this long back and forth. After a while, I got tired. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired. You talking about, oh, what did Kobe, what did he say? Oh, what did Kobe do in the 2003 season? I forget, was that the season he asked me about, or the 02-03 season or something like that? I'm like, Kobe was getting buckets that year. He was getting buckets. I don't remember. Let me see if I can pull up his regular season. I think that was the last year Shaq was in LA. That season, Kobe averaged 26 point. Was it 24 or 26? One of those years. That's the year they brought Karl Malone and Gary Payton. But for you as a Kobe fan to say that Kobe was a sidekick is ridiculous. And then to follow it up with those arguments by bringing up a sidekick. And it was like, you want to use the argument of the finals against Kobe. Listen to Gil. He wants to use the argument of the Kobe's numbers in the finals against Shaq to say he's a sidekick. Then when Brandon Jennings brings up the LeBron's numbers in the final, you know what Gilbert Arenas says? But who has the most kills? The most point? I'm like, you're moving the argument. You're literally moving the argument to benefit LeBron, which makes me suspicious of you. I don't understand it. You're a Kobe fan and all you do is try to crap on him. I don't get that. I don't see the Kobe fan in you. And number two, I never heard this when Kobe was alive. Gil is the only NBA player that talks crazy about Kobe, that claims Kobe's his favorite player. All right, whatever. I remember the video in 2006 or whatever it is when they were asking Gilbert Arenas and NBA players around the NBA what they think about Kobe. Gilbert Arenas said, laying down on a bed, you got on a stretcher, whatever it is in the training room, he hit shots. I mean, he hit shots. He shoots like nobody's standing next to him. He's like, you know how somehow somebody, when you're trying to fake somebody out, somebody fake, you try to do, he's like, he don't even be bothered. He got 5. That's Gilbert Arenas talking about Kobe Bryant, the sidekick. Like, cut it out. Like, cut it out with this LeBron and Clutch Sports and Rich Boy. Like, yo, stop all of that, man. Like, yo, what are we doing? Shout out to Brandon Jennings. I don't know him, but shout out to Brandon Jennings for putting his goon down on Gilbert Arenas in that segment. Like, enough is enough with this clown. Like, enough is enough. If you think LeBron is great, be cool with it. But to try to bring down Kobe in the process of it and say Kobe was a sidekick, like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You don't average 35 or score 81 being a sidekick. I'm sorry, you don't. Like let's stop with the stupidity with the Kobe hate.